first. This hand has a bunch of castable cards in it, so that sounds like something I'm interested in doing. Functional thresholds, keep. Morning, coach. We'll go diamond on 1, into wild Shardcall for Sapphire on 2, into Shamrock on 3, into Hailstorm, diamond ice on 4. It's playing powerful 3 and 4 drop troops and then keeping them in play with Runebinds and returning them to play with Threads of Life is the idea. So it's a base Sapphire Diamond deck splashing Shamrock, Exalted Pathfinder, and Pippit Hustler as wildcards. And because Darkheart has the -1 cost gem in it, it's going to be able to get returned to play by Threads of Life. Shardcall. That isn't something that's a little bit awkward in this deck. You can Fate Weave. You can Fate Weave non-resources that end up with Shardcalls, so that's something to be aware of. You can actually hit a brick when you Fate Weave. So Shamrock Goldfather is one of the powerful cards I was talking about. It's a 4/4 for 3, and says whenever an opponent champion plays a non-resource card, we get a lucky coin, which is a resource that lets us Fate Weave. So games that he stays in play are going to be pretty hard pressed to lose. He provides you with kind of an endless string of resources that are also Fate Weaves. There's our Threads of Life there. So Threads of Life, 3 cost, basic action, put target constant or troop with cost 4 or less from our crypt back into play, and then it Fate Weaves as well. Hailstorm's kind of a way to incidentally gain some value from all of our Fate Weaving, so it says whenever we Fate Weave, we summon a Hailhawk. Shamrock Goldfather of their own. I think I'm just going to offer this trade in combat, right? I think so. I think I just want to play this dark card out. It's going to kill our Shamrock, but it's going to kill theirs as well. And my Shamrock will generate me some more coins next turn if they play anything. So dark card is not a combo with our other non-socketed cards, but the kind of idea behind it is that if dark card's in play, we don't need to keep our other things in play because dark card's going to be dominating the game all on its own. And if we're R ahead on board, we don't need to play the dark card out, so we just afford to have this extra dead card in our hand. We'll see if that logic comes together. If it's just completely wrong. Diamond's favor, so this destroys our opposed troop with defense 5 or less. Sure. Just gonna go ahead and kill my dark heart here. I think I want to just Threads my Goldfather back into play. It's fine. We Fate Weave a non-resource. Just gonna go ahead and gain a charge with this Primal Prism. I need double diamond, but I have this diamond dice in my hand. Do I want to play this Shardcall? I might actually want to hold this so that way I can re-trigger one of my cards off of Runebind. I don't really need the resource, so I think I'm just gonna hold on to this for now. Yeah, you can also just produce fodder with Hailstorm. That is true too. Yeah, just like between the opening hand algorithm and like how Fate Weave allows you to keep the wider range of hands. I do need to be a little bit worried about Eternal Seeker out of my opponent because my Hailstorm, my Shamrock Goldfather, and the Hail Hawks are all going to be 3s. So it's a little scary. Although now if they Seeker, they'll take off their Pippit Pal too, so that's pretty good for us. And change course or theorize. Lead on theorize. Draw 2, discard 1. Play this Shardcall. Play this Hailstorm. And throw this lucky coin out here, which will Fate Weave with my Hailstorm, grab a non-resource. Play this Guidance, grab a non-resource, get a Hailhawk. Hey, Mr. Zakari with the $4.99 month subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. As always, subs are the best way you can support my content here, so I appreciate that that next level of support. If they have a lot of resources in their hand, they can bump this up pretty large. This is momentum 3, and this lets them play an extra shard out. So the first shard will make this a 4-4, the second shard will make this an 8-8. They could champ power this as well to get it all the way up into like the double digits for attack and defense. But that would require them having 3 resources in their hand, and I'm pretty sure they only made 1 off the Shamrock Goldfather. Okay, there's a champ power activation. So that increases its momentum, so the first resource is going to give this... Oh, they're going to give this flight. Ooh, that's really scary. And they're going to get their Shamrock Goldfather back? That's really good. Interesting. Okay, so they're not playing the traditional... Diamond Wild list. We could almost die here. Oh, I guess I have these dorks to chump block with, right? Get that going for us. Yeah, I'm dumb. Hailhawks block forever. Okay, so if they're playing this, I wonder if there's Seekers or Glories in their deck. There might not be. So opponent has 5 diamonds. They're going to return their Shamrock to play. I kind of want to hit a dark card here. I think I want to lead on change course because I can find a dark heart or a threads. Theorize I could still find a threads, right? Heyo. Alright, so I'm gonna bin an ice here. Never need double wild. And I'm gonna go ahead and play this lucky coin out because I need the non-slow shard. Grab a non-resource. Again, Threads of Life, my dark heart back, which is gonna Fate Weave and give me another hawk. So my opponent gets to return something to play every turn, but they also now they can't like lose extra things inside of combat because they're going to be losing something every turn to the dark heart. So trigger on this. And I'm going to get a new Hailhawk every turn because I'm probably going to be playing one of these out. Next turn, I'm probably actually going to Fate Weave Diamond Ice, and then so I can hit my champ power. Because remember, lucky coins, even though they give a temporary resource, they don't give you a charge towards your champion power. So you need to, play one of these at some point so I can start Fate Weaving with that. And we're basically just never going to draw a resource the rest of this game, right? Ooh, I forgot about that. Wait, they have Dark Hearts in their deck too? That doesn't seem like a combo. I guess Daughter of the Poet's not that different from Hailstorm, but that seems okay. I feel like this is good for me. Maybe I'm misassessing here, but I feel like this is good for me. Is this the person... I'm gonna have to go back and check the tape. The person that like Shamrock Goldfather into a Clash of Steel at one time. I guess that's something I need to keep in mind too. Like, I have Clash of Seals in my deck, and Clash would be... Yeah, Clash would actually probably be okay for me on this board, right? Because I could, like, Clash, like, keep my Dark Heart, and then Runebind this, and then play a follow-up Shamrock. Well, I guess I don't want to play a follow-up Shamrock if I have Dark Heart. Yeah, maybe. Not everyone's playing Seeker, though, Coach. Post-board, we could play something else. You could play some copies of Unhenge, maybe. These are elementals. I think if they attack with this, I'm just going to take 6. I don't want to, like, triple block here. I guess I could have, like, traded these two for this, and then, like, played a follow-up Shamrock Goldfather. That might be an okay line. Because then they're down a troop next turn, and they'd have to sacrifice, like, 2 of these 3. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to double here. I could see that being correct. Because I have this other Goldfather in my hand. Exalted Pathfinder's kind of the nut here. This is going to say every time I play a resource, I get to draw a card now. We'll get to draw 2 cards a turn. I'm going to go ahead and Calic. I wonder, I'm not actually sure if this Fate Weave champion is the correct champion for this deck or not. This has Skyguard, so I shouldn't attack. We'll pass back here. They have to sacrifice 2 non-socketed cards. See if they lose the Goldfather, their artist. Lost the Goldfather, okay. I wonder if I Runebind this Daughter of the Poet during their second main. I'm probably supposed to do that. So that way they just lose their board. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. And then eventually I can take their Dark Heart off by Runebinding it. That's unfortunate. That's why they sacked their 3. Okay, that makes sense. Hmm. Okay, so this is gonna flip back out next turn. Yeah, deploy triggers when it enters play. Deploy means enters play, basically. Oh, geez. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, I needed to Runebind this because they're gonna flip a resource into their hand and get this Seeker back. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's loose. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a pretty big mistake. Yeah, not having any removal on our main deck's probably wrong. Another daughter. Okay. Alright, so now we need a Clash of Steel. Now we need a Clash of Steel. The good news is, I'm gonna play, as soon as I play a card, this is gonna flip out. So that's good for us. Alright, so what do I want to do here? I think I want to lead on... I think I want to play this, right? So I can actually hold these lucky coins to Shamrock. That's a Clash of Steel. Alright, huh. Well, I mean, I've assembled my combo. Yeah, I'm just super far behind. Let's do it. YOLO. Alright, that gives me another coin. That's sweet. So I can play the Shamrock and then, like, ditch 6 coins and play the top 2 cards of my deck. What's your favorite number, opponent? They could void 4s here. Yeah, that's a good line on the opponent's part. And then they're going to keep their Dark Heart. I think I want to keep this Shamrock now, just so I have a backup one. Yeah, okay. Tilt. Survey says the second time. Alright, I deserve that. I deserve that. That is something I entirely deserve. Nice hex card, idiot. I just like don't have a good way to get this off the table. Gross. I feel like I don't actually have a way to win the game through this dark card. I need to like assemble my own dark card plus a Runebind. I think I'm through 2 Runebinds or 3. I'd already played my resource for the turn, coach. Otherwise, I agree. We should have kept the Hailstorm. I played a resource to draw the Clash of Steel that we were playing. So I didn't have any Fate Weave left. Oh, I do have Hustlers in my deck. Oh, I do. There's 2 Hustlers in my deck. I forgot about that. Hey, MRZ Karu with the donation. I'm assuming that's for a donation deck. Should put my Streamlabs up. Eldritch Ponza, yep. So I'm pretty sure I just run the no blocks here. Go to 7. I need to keep this Exalted Pathfinder in play so I can draw an extra card, try and find my Pippit Hustler. Change course is going to go a long way. All right, I'm going to play the Wax Sacrament first. Gives me a little bit more information. Okay, Runebind buys me some time. It also means Dark Heart's a live hit. Would prefer a Hustler, though. Yeah, there's a every day we hustle in, ladies and gentlemen. Beep 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 beep. You want to pick a different show? All right, that's a Locket of Reflection. I'm gonna play this Drop a Wax out just in case they play another Dark Heart. All right, your turn, opponent.
Next, watch Max.
Watch Mass. Okay. It's been a wild game.
Pick. Mommy, Dad, Mother.
Okay, this is kind of punishment for not having played the Shardcall last turn. It's gonna let them make a thing. Yeah, I guess I should have played this last turn. This is something I wasn't thinking of. I was kind of thinking like I might want to hold it to re-trigger my Runebind. Oh, actually, yeah, I want to hold this, right? I can Runebind my Pippit Hustler and then Shardcall to un-Runebind it and Runebind or kill their Shamrock that way. That seems decent. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Every day we hustle. It's gonna give him a couple of coins, but no, that's a legacy deck. I guess I should specify the format when it's in the priority queue.
My bar.
Your bar.
My bar's empty.
Your bars are empty. You're not wrong. Another Pathfinder. Okay, I'm gonna play out the Shamrock. I think I'm gonna hold wait on this other Pathfinder just because my opponent has Eternal Seekers in their deck. Yeah, I was trying to avoid, the goal was to avoid double Sapphire Coach. I don't actually know how good the threshold base is in this deck just yet. Oh, they couldn't, these were free attacks, right? Because that thing can't attack or block anyway, so I missed 4 points of damage there. Or this is Troop Trauma, right? So I missed 1 point of damage. Leprechaun Artist, deal. There's only 21 cards left in my deck. I feel like we've dirtled a little bit too hard. Maybe 4 change courses too many. I want some things that can actually win the game. Maybe some spot removal. Some spot removal would probably be okay. This is not an aggressive deck. This deck is many things, but it is definitely not aggressive. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this Exalted Pathfinder, and then I'm gonna go ahead and Lucky Coin here, I think. Grab a non-resource. Change course is actually kind of scary, right? Because this, they have to return a constant, right? So this attack isn't free, but the rest of these are free. No, outside of candles, all the aggressive decks in this format are pretty bad. That's why I was a little upset that they nerfed Haraza. It felt like an unnecessary change. Do I want to Threads my Dark Heart back? That's probably not good. I'm just gonna pass for now. Might want another Pippit Hustler in the deck, honestly. Hustler seems pretty good. Maybe I just want 4 of them for my removal. It's pretty good with like Runebind and stuff. Oh. You can like build your own counterspell with like hustle something into a like hustle Eternal Seeker or Runebind Eternal Seeker and then hustle it. They have Forever's Bloom in their deck. This is actually a card I thought about for this deck. At the start of your turn, add a strength counter to this, then a troop gets +1/+1 permanently for each strength counter on it. Seems sweet. Oh lordy. Oh lordy. I'm actually not going to be able to beat through that, am I? That's there's one Pippit Hustler left in my deck, right? They only have one troop in their bin, right? Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna end step change course here. Oh, corners returned constants, right? Corners is neat. Corners is neat. Corners with daughter. Seems pretty sweet. Alright, that's exactly what I wanted, was this Pippit Hustler. They're gonna flash this Pippit Hustler into play at end of turn. Tag one of these daughters. I wonder if I can kill them before I deck. That might actually be a challenge. Although Hailstorm's gonna be good towards not decking, I think. I guess I could put a Dark Heart into play with the goal of I can throw Dark Heart into play with the goal of sacrificing my Exalted Pathfinder so I stop drawing out. I think I'm through all my Dark Hearts, but I have 4 Threads of Life. Oh wait, actually, oh, there's some voided, right? There's one voided. There's one Dark Heart in my bid. They're taking 6 here. Yeah, I think I just want to flute my Dark Heart into play here. I can go Hailstorm, and then I can flute my Dark Heart into play. And Fate Weave, which gives me a Hawk. And then I can drop it like it's hot. Your turn. I don't think I actually want to play the card off the top of my deck because I could deck myself here. Yeah, I should probably be 4 Hustlers in my deck. It's kind of mid-range bush. Yeah, it's like good 3 and 4 drops that we can rebuy with Threads of Life. Is the goal. That was what I was going for when I put it together. We don't get Eternal Secret here, we should be pretty good, right? Or Clash of Steeled. Steel. Yep. Sweet. Alright, that was a heck of a game 1. Ground him out. Yes, you can threads everything in the deck is threadsable. That's the idea. Change course, I think, is a liability in these long games. I don't have a good way to interrupt Eternal Seeker. I think I need Clash of Steel to break up their bigger boards on us, so I want the 3rd one of those. Do I want... I think I want these Dispels not only for killing their constants. Oh, they probably have Corners of the World, right? So I should bring in this Nature's Rain. I wasn't sure how consistent the Threshold base was going to be, so I have, like, Nature's Rain and Dispel. Rains is probably just better. Nature's Rain plus Runebind is also a build your own counter spell, because you can Runebind something and then Nature's Rain the constant. Which is nice. Voiding with Grass seems important. Yeah, a couple of these seems fine. Daughter of the Poet's really annoying. I don't actually know what else I want to cut. I think I need to keep all my Dark Hearts. Maybe I don't need all 4. Maybe I don't need all 4. I can also just, like, trim Theorize. Yeah, these seem fine. Let's do this. See how it feels. Yeah, I think Burgle's wrong that we want to be double the looting champion and double Sapphire. I think I want to just stay off of double Sapphire. I think I want to play I think I want some Unhenge in the 75 for interacting with Eternal Seeker. That card's also just like pretty reasonable right now. We occasionally have elementals off of Hailhawks, and it's just like fine for 3 resources, I think. I think I want some more Pippit Hustlers after playing this first game. Hustler is pretty good. Oh yeah, Sacrament gives it. Maybe I can play a 3rd Sacrament even. Forgot about Sacrament. Sacrament was just like here as an afterthought. All right, Wild Ice. So here's one of the things that's sweet about the resource base in this deck. This Wild Ice is guaranteed to get me a diamond source or another resource that Fate Weaves. So all of my non-Fate Weaving resources provide diamond. So if we're a little bit unlucky, we're gonna hit like more Wild Ice and Sapphire Ice, but like we're pretty likely to get diamond here. So I have 10 diamond in my deck, right? So we have a 10 out of 17 chance to get diamond here, and the 7 out of 17, if we hit that half of that, like 40% or whatever it comes out to be, we get another Fate Weave to then Fate Weave out 10 out of 16, which is fine. And if we hit Sapphire, we can then theorize on 3, so ding, ding, ding. Drop it like it's hot. 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 We are, in fact, playing 16 slow shards. I feel like playing a tri-shard deck in this format. X-Hype, don't forget to do your survey. Forgot to do your survey a while back. X is what I subbed for. Well, thanks and welcome back, Thron. Double artist on the play is pretty scary. Yeah, Sargon, so basically my thinking was you're gonna not play your cards for one of 2 reasons in this deck. You're either not gonna play your cards because you don't have your thresholds, or you can choose to not play your cards on curve. And I think I'd rather just not play my cards on curve. That was a great draw. Let's do that. Let's Wild Ice and put a shard on top of my deck. We still have this guy left to contend with. If they have a regular shard in their hand, which is pretty likely, they get to go shard, champ power, coin, and hit me for a pretty sizable amount. It'd be... Ooh, they don't have a regular shard. It's good for us. X for me too, although I do enjoy MTG content occasionally. Ben828018 with the 11-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. As always, folks, if you enjoy my content here, subscriptions are the absolute best way you could show your support for that. Oh, gross. So they hit it off the Arachi notion. Oh, that was a good line. They Fate Wove, and then they got to Arachi it. Okay. Not blocking here. Just take my lick for 6. Hello, Declan. Oh, going down. Look at that. Look at how perfect the thresholds are in our deck. Did anyone say the thresholds in our deck were anything other than perfect? Because they're a fucking liar. They're a liar. A dirty, rotten liar. Thresholds in the deck. Perfect. Ugh. You think you're funny, punk? Dead's chair is down, yeah. So here's something to think about that I think a lot of people don't think about when they talk about building decks with different threshold requirements, is that the thresholds in this deck actually aren't that ambitious. Because if you think about it, Locket's not actually in their deck. Locket was a Transmogrifade, but they're not playing your configuration. They have Daughters and like Forever's Blooms and other bad cards. We'll start on this, see what happens. They might just not play any more cards out here, which would be a little awkward for us. Did not find any spot removal here. Are we just dead? No, we're not just dead, right? We're not dead on board. And jump block. Probably losing the game. Well, no, but like, I think something a lot of people don't think about when they think about their decks, like, think about the Ruby Wild Ramp deck or the Diamond Sapphire control decks in this format. Those decks need 4 thresholds too. They need double Ruby, double Wild, and they need double Sapphire, double Diamond. This deck only needs 4 thresholds as well. It needs single Sapphire, single Wild, single or double Diamond. Yeah, I mean, like, that's fine, right? All right, now we're dead because they hit a shard there. So if they have a shard in their hand, we're gonna die. Okay. Dead. Our deck definitely doesn't have enough spot removal in it. That's like 10 out of 10 the truth. Maybe I want the fourth Winter's Grasp. Yeah, that's probably the case. They have 4 artists and 4 whatever else. I got this Dispel. Yeah, I think I just want to like max on Hustlers in the main and play some Unhenge in the 75. I don't want to play Decree in my Dark Heart Clash of Steel deck. Do not want to play Decree in my Dark Heart Clash of Steel deck. So this hand's unkeepable, right? It's got all of our thresholds, and it looks like it has 3 non-resources in it, but it's actually just 6 shards Winter's Grasp, right? It's actually just 6 shards Winter's Grasp. I guess I get to like guarantee action. Kinda watch these like Fate Weave more shard calls. It's probably okay. I don't know. I'm gonna want to hit 6 resources at some point this game, and I get to Fate Weave a bunch. What do the kids say? YOLO? YOLO? Destroy the upside of Hex starting hands 1 shard call at a time. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? That reminds me, I need to switch my sleeves for this deck to the Shardcall sleeves. They're so sweet. Yeah, I think so, Coach. Opponent's deck like isn't strictly momentum though. Like I think they probably have plenty of hands that like don't involve a 2-drop. Yeah, see, just plenty of hands that don't involve a 2-drop. Pathfinder's Dece. Am I playing Shardcall here? I'm probably just supposed to play this out so that way I can guarantee I don't give them a thing from in case they play Goldfather next turn. I think I want to play this, grab a charge, and then pass the turn here. I get kind of punished if they play the 3-drop 1/4 because I can't Winter's Grasp them this turn because I didn't play an Onslow Shard. I think it's right to sequence the way I did. Yep. Do I want to just jam this Pathfinder? I think I do. I think I do. I'll just put this into play. For 40 minutes into the stream, only in game 3 of the first batch. Yeah, Lady Avalanche could be okay. That was another champion I considered. I wasn't certain how consistently I was going to have wild thresholds in my deck, but yeah, I think I might try Lady Avalanche. Being able to play Darkheart plus have Runebind up on 4 is good. Being able to play Exalted Pathfinder plus play a Shard on 4 is good. There's a lot of potential upside to what we could have going on. I'm just gonna play Darkheart here. That'd be kind of suck for us. Bring to Justice. That's it's a card. Grab a non-resource here. Pippit Hustler? Darkheart? No. Right, I'm gonna concede because I'm kind of upset with some of our card choices here. So let's shuffle some of these cards around that we're playing and then try again. I'm gonna try a different champion too. The Momentum champion is one that stuck out to me too. It's between Calic and her. I want to cut these change courses and put in 2 more hustlers. And put a bunch of Nature's Reigns on my board. I want... Is it nuts to main deck Unhenge? Is that nuts? My main deck Unhenge, should I go up Wax Sacraments? Hey, everyone's got a couple of troops in their deck at least. I just want another Wax Sacrament. Maybe I don't want. Maybe I could trim a Theorize. Really need a ton of selection with the Fate Weave that we have. I don't actually know that we want to be activating Goldfather, Immortal. I don't know that it's true that we want to be activating Goldfather. Like, I've already have, like, Dark Hearts and Clash of Steels in my deck, so, like, activating Goldfather is, like, kind of a desperation play, I think. Alright, let's try this. We got 2 Hailstorms in the main and a 3rd in the board for grindy matchups. Literally on your screen, man. Going on, Apprentice? Yeah, I just need to block this shithead on Twitter. Just gonna block this shithead. This is a redraw, right? No Fate Weaves, no Shardcall. Grab a diamond here. Technically, I have a second resource in this Shardcall. Hopefully, we can hit a Guidance or Shardcall or Fate Weave here. Hey, I'm put a shard on top of my deck here. So it kind of sucks that I need to pick what I'm getting here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Wild so I can guarantee ShamWow next turn. There's less of it recently, Bardic, because I've been blocking more people because it's a quality of life thing. A Ruby, Diamond, some kind of Ardent deck. That's a beating. Okay. So Sabretooth is great at killing Shamrock because it doesn't trigger him. That being said, I've got this Threads of Life here that's kind of awesome. Hey, Primal Prism's perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and flip ShamWow back into play here. Flip a non-resource to the top of my deck. Play this Wild, flip a non-resource. Actually, I probably want to put a resource on top of my deck here, right? So that way I can gain a charge. So that way I can go Exalted Pathfinder, gain a charge, champ power, draw a couple of cards. That's probably correct. Let's see if they have another Sabretooth here or not. No, I don't currently have a bot that's working with Hex cards, sorry. Am I supposed to hustle this, or am I supposed to give them a couple of triggers? Feels like I'm just supposed to give them a couple of triggers. Okay, we have a non-resource here. Boop. Sweet. Champ power here. Now this is going to give me Sapphire, right? So I can play this and gain a charge now. I'm going to leave this back as an extra blocker here. Runebind's a pretty good pickup. They're going to go pretty wide here, depending on how many cards they can play this turn. It's kind of scary. One, two, three, four, five, six. So they can make this a 9/9? Yeah, they can. Alright, I think I'm just taking this hit again. I think between Hustler and Runebind, I'm okay to just take this hit. Okay, so we're gonna play this and make it to Sapphire. I'm gonna go ahead and hustle Scion of Livanth here. Pass the turn. Yeah, this is a deck that we played on stream a little bit. This gives a couple of things flying. Yeah, I think that's actually going to be lethal. They could jump both of these and then exhaust the rest of their board. Yeah. A little bit too slow here. This is a good line on their part. They made this exactly large enough to be able to kill me even if I take this off the board. So, good line from the opponent. I was greedy. I should have played the Pippit Hustler on 4 instead of the Exalted Pathfinder, or on 5, whatever turn that was. Henges are a little slow. Extra Clash of Steel's probably decent. That's all I want to do. Probably just want all my clashes, actually. Basically be a clash control deck post board. Your Clash Dark Heart deck with Pippit Hustler in it. Yep. Yep, voiding is good. Same technically has 2 shards and 2 Winter's Grasp, right? We could get into a little bit of trouble depending on what resources we get, but if we hit an ice off this guidance, we're gonna be a pretty good spot. That's a tilt. Yeah, I mean, like that's what you got to look at, right? Like if you just talk about like, oh man, my opponent had their Scion and their Llama Herder and they hit their removal spell. I'm so unlucky. Like you can't grow as a player if you just like write everything off to RNG. And like TCGs are like the great type of game to play if you want something to scapegoat, because if you look hard enough when you're playing a TCG, it's never your fault. You can always find something that didn't break exactly your way where you can go, oh, it's the game's fault, I got unlucky. And it's like, well, it's not really what happened. These Wax Sacraments are kind of nice too, because they insulate my board against my own Dark Hearts a little bit, which is nice. So play my own 4/4, pass the turn here. Crusader is boring. Am I supposed to jump here? Nah, I'm gonna hold these candles because they're valuable with my Dark Heart, right? Threads of Life that doesn't have any targets. Alright, hopefully my opponent plays some cards to give us some Fate Weaves for resources. And like, you could say, oh, you're missing your thresholds, so your thresholds are bad, but the reality is we're just missing shards, right? Like, and our deck actually isn't that light on shards. We have 19 resources, 4 shard calls, 4 guidance, so we basically have 27 cards that get us resources. Please play a card, opponent. Please play a card. Why didn't I attack last turn? Why didn't I attack? Nobody knows. Don't ask me questions like that. Oh, you know what? Was I supposed to?
I should play.
I was probably supposed to play Exalted Pathfinder there, right?
Play my poo-poo. A poo-poo?
You need a diaper change? It feels like you might need a diaper change. All right.
Big poo-poo?
You made a big poop poop?
I make big poo-poo.
Big poop poop. All right,
I
let's...
make a big poo-poo. I make big poo-poo.
All right.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, your poop poop is big.
Hey. Mommy. Hey.
Coming. Say bye, Mama.
Bye, baby. Mommy can't sit. Mommy has to work, baby.
Say bye, bye, Mama. That's true.
I know. You know, you didn't mute it when you went over there.
No.
Not a little poop poop, a big one. Jeff Hoagland, Olympic diaper change.
All right. Yep. That's pretty bad for us. All right. This game we stumbled on resources a little bit too long. I wonder if the theorizers are just too cute. They're probably just too cute. Yeah. Let's try and just put some removal in our main deck.
Gator gators.
Peace.
Egg. Egg. Egg.
Let's just play 3 in my main deck. Put an extra Unhenge in my sideboard. What cards do I want in my reserves? I feel like I kind of want a bomb for grindy games. Do I want an Eternal Seeker of my own? Is that crazy? I feel like we generate a lot of resources a lot of the time. Let's put a Seeker in here. What else could be good? Put an Arcing Light in. Candles might be scary. Hey. I mean, I didn't have any Sapphire resources that game, Coach, so like that's completely irrelevant. I haven't played the Diamond Wild Ramp deck at all. Hey, Duggernaut777 with the brand new $4.99 month subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support my content here, so I really appreciate that. So like rating off, and part of the thing too is, Coach, you don't have time to use card selection against decks that are aggressive, right? The Phantom chat is so annoying. I really wish they'd fix that. Yeah, we get a couple shots to Fate Weave for Diamond, right? So one thing that is worth thinking about too, the fact that I went up a Wax Sacrament actually hurts my low shard count hands, and it's something to think about. Because, so the low shard card hands, for instance, so this Wild Ice is less likely to hit another resource that Fate Weaves, right? Because I've added a third Wax Sacrament. So every resource you add that's a non-ice lowers your chance of going ice into ice to chain ice together to guarantee resource drops in the early game. So Clash of Steel on our opener is pretty good in this matchup if we can get to double diamond on time. That being said, if we get to first diamond, we're going to get to second diamond, right? Oh, I forgot to put my sleeves on. Put my Shardcall sleeves on. Okay, that's a diamond. So I can play this for a diamond, and then the question is, do I want to shard call now? I don't really need to shard call now, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here. Hold up this Winter's Grasp. I mean, the grass are obviously good against these aggressive decks, right? Like, I don't think that's really any question. Ugh, we're gonna get waxed on here. Bad. I think potentially we did here. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna clash, and they're like gonna wax, they could untap and then choir us. And like, again, like I've literally, this is my 4th turn of the game on the draw, and I just like haven't done anything to interact with the board. Okay, alright, so we're not in nearly as much trouble as I thought because they don't have an end step thing. I wouldn't mind drawing a non-slow resource so I can go Shamrock into Winter's Grasp. I'm gonna Fate Weave a non-resource to the top here. This does allow them to Wrath of the Elements my Shamrock here. Let's save a third one now. Looks like they're flooding a touch, which is good for us. Holy dicks. Alright, so we're dead. I guess I could technically draw Clash of Steel. What? They're flooding a little, that's good for us. No, it is not. No, it is not. Them flooding is very, very bad for us. No, I don't think so. I think it's probably one of your better cards. I think the problem that game wasn't that we had too many threads of life. I think the problem that game was that I just didn't do anything to impact the board for the first, what, 2 turns? Like, the game got away from me because I wasn't interacting with the board. I think extra Runebind's probably fine for buying time. My Pippit Hustler. I guess Verdict's okay in this matchup. It's not amazing, but it's like fine. Maybe I can trim a threads against the aggressive decks. Some of their removal voids as well. I don't think I want 2 verdicts.
Oh, it's PP card.
I'm just it's no, stop it. Threads is your best card against blood decks. And again, this is why like laddering and being results based isn't good. Like I built this deck with blood decks in mind for like playing against things that like have been doing well in events, and we're just not playing against any blood decks because the blood decks aren't great for grinding the ladder. They're also expensive in terms of dollars, so there's less of them when people are laddering compared to the large events. Threads of Life is fine when your opponent's killing your thing. The issue that game wasn't that I didn't do anything with Threads of Life. The issue was that I was on the draw and didn't have a way to interact with my opponent. That's why TCGs are hard to analyze, like what's actually going wrong with your decks, because it's very easy to look at a game like that and misidentify the things that were actually relevant and mattered, and come to bad conclusions and make cuts and changes from your deck based on things that were mostly irrelevant. And again, so this ice is guaranteed to get us either 1, a diamond threshold, or 2, another resource that Fate weaves for us a second time. So we're gonna get to the Shardcall eventually, which will unlock the rest of our hand. So it's slow, but we're on the play. No, I don't have a reason to play Singleton. The weekday tournaments are really inconvenient for me to join. Like, I don't really have 4 hours to sit there, and like the only time I'm sitting at the computer for 4 hours is when I'm streaming, and when I'm streaming, those tournaments are bad for streaming because there's so much downtime in between the rounds. I think Threads is a good card in general. I think a lot of these decks have cards that are important to them that they want to make sure they can get into play ASAP and keep them in play, and Threads helps you do that. So yeah, I think Threads is a fine card for like these decks that want to keep Exalted Pathfinders around. This deck with the 3 thresholds might be too cute, but like it might be worth playing a couple of these even in the main deck and to split more in the reserves for like the Diamond Wild ramp deck that you've been playing, Sargon, to like rebuy your Goldfathers and your Exalted Pathfinders. So like, how many games do you lose where you get to keep Exalted Pathfinder in play, right? Or where you get to keep Shamrock in play? Like not many, right? I'm gonna put another resource on top of my deck here, and I'm gonna Fate Weave Shardcall for another diamond. It's not even a card that's about Crypt Enablers. Again, it just comes back to the am I losing the games where I keep these cards on the table? And if the answer is I'm winning the games where I keep these cards on the table, then if I draw Threads of Life and I already have my card on the table, it doesn't matter that I drew this dead Threads of Life because the thing I want to Threads is in play and winning the game. All right, so what do I want to do here? I can just play this Exalted Pathfinder. Yeah, I think because I have this Runebind, I can afford to like take a turn here, like try and get a little bit more value out of the Clash of Steel because I have the Runebind to protect my Exalted Pathfinder. I get to do this. I get to champ power this. gonna go ahead and play this Primal Prism. I have all my thresholds, so I just get to gain a charge with this. I'm not playing the ice. I don't know exactly what I want to Fate Weave just yet. Arcing Light's a good pickup too. I can't Runebind my Pathfinder here. Maybe this is aggressive. Maybe I'm just supposed to, yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to let this die, because now I'm dead to Choir. Yeah, it's probably just supposed to let my Pathfinder die there. Yep. Now we're dead to the +2/+2 as well. Yeah, I should have just saved the Runebind here, so that way I could have Clash plus Arcing Light up the following turn. Or I could go Clash plus Threads of Life. Yeah, so probably gonna die here, and I could have prevented it. At the very least, we're taking 9. Well, I guess I was taking 9 regardless, right? They figured it out. Alright, let's try one more. Feel like I'm losing games to mistakes and getting slightly unlucky, so let's stop making mistakes and we'll win more games. Don't be a turd. Declan Scott, we do not grab the cables. That's not okay. No. No. You can sit by me, but you can't run around behind my desk and grab the cables. That's not okay, buddy.
Pig.
Yeah, sounds fine.
Pig. Go.
Don't be a brat. Don't be a brat.
Go. Pig.
You want to pick a different show? Okay.
It's more.
Going to the resource up top here. So we got 3rd resource, 4th resource, or 2nd resource, 3rd resource, 4th resource here. So I'll go ahead and play this out for Wild. Play this, get Sapphire. And mono Sapphire X control deck. Like they have a lot of interrupts, so I wouldn't be too surprised if Shamrock doesn't resolve. Darkheart's probably not going to be stellar here. Just gonna grab a charge here. We'll probably hit a 2nd diamond at some point. Just gonna hold up Unhenge here instead of guidancing. You know what I should be using is... I should be using my Shardcall sleeves. I forgot to put those on again. That's fine. We'll probably lose a 4th match and then be done with this deck. I just never answer messages. I think the chat box shouldn't exist. No, it basically only exists to pour out salt. Like stupid pre-game pleasantries. Like, fine. If I wanted to talk to people, I'd go play a physical card game. If I wanted to interact with people, I'd go out, I'd leave my house. Again, I don't actually know what we're trying to accomplish here. I guess I'm like waiting for a... I'm like waiting for a Runebind to try and force the Shamrock Goldfather through. So I'll play my 3/4 out. This is my 3/4. It plans to attack you 7 times. He's been interrupted. Same thing with Magic Online, right? Like every time someone posts a screenshot of like someone salting off on Magic Online, it's like, why does this chat box exist? Why? It doesn't do anything useful. All right. I'd bet even amounts of money that this card doesn't have text in this matchup. Whatever my opponent's doing, this card probably just like doesn't have a text box. Flash of Steel probably also not good. They're drawing 3 cards with that now. If I knew what my opponent's deck was doing, I'd probably concede this game because like we're almost certainly not winning, but like I don't really know what they're doing. Okay, so they're playing Dark Hearts. Their 3rd Weave. They have Weave and Deny in their deck. Something. At least our Dark Hearts are better than their Dark Hearts, I suppose. They have Dingles in their deck too. Mono interrupts. This is a free block, no reason to attack. Alright. 4th Weave and 25 cards. Alright, let's cut all these cards that are crappy. Unhenge is probably fine, actually. Nature's Reigns is fine. Verdict's decent. Extra Hailstorm's probably good. Oh, I guess Threads, like, when they interrupt my troops, I can rebuy them with that. We do have the Goldfather Clash combo, you're not wrong. Our deck doesn't go super wide, though, outside of Hailstorm, so, like... There are boards where, like, we're Shamrocking hoping to hit Clash of Steel. Interim A Dark Heart. Actually, I probably want to change the gems on my Dark Heart in this matchup, right? Probably don't need them to be 4 cost. I definitely don't need them to be plus defense. And have them do troop creation. Then what else do I want to do? Could just Fate Weave them. Let's do troop creation, Fate Weave, so they're a combo with my make Hailhawks. That. It's decent. Got Shamrocks and some Runebinds to protect it. You run a playset of Charizard. Now they frown upon that. Oh, is my Fate Weave bugged? Do I have to relog? What happens when I pop up a new set of selections? Is it still gonna be here? Looks like it's still gonna be here. Alright, I have to relog real quick. Then there's gonna be the cards too high. Yeah, that's awkward. Alright, so I don't actually have any double threshold cards in my deck, right? Put a DC down. So everything on the board's gonna be pushed slightly north the remainder of this game because of that relog. I'm pretty sure both of those are just hex things too. They're not specific to the Linux client. Yeah, I think the cards in play are pushed slightly north too, but I don't remember offhand. So I'm not going to try and play Shamrock Goldfather next turn anyways, because I want to play it with Runebind up so that way I can fight through an Unhenge. We have a non-resource here. We've got 5 guaranteed resources, and Shamrock's hopefully going to generate a few more than that, so... Sorry, have another diaper change. Weird, you keep feeding the kids and all they do is poop. Need a big poop poop? Declan, you know kids are gross? Kids are gross, yeah. With you. Love you, but you're gross. Sorry about that. Oh. If you don't feed them, they can't poop. True facts. Alright, so hopefully they have Weave or Deny here, and they don't have Dingle plus Runebind. So we can beat one interrupt here. Getting to protect Shamrock with Runebind feels kinda great. Feels pretty powerful. I guess they get to Darkheart me here. That kind of sucks. I have the Nature's Rain to clean it up, though, I guess. Huh, do I want to just stick this now? I think I do. I'm going to have this Runebind to fight over this later. Although I guess they could just Runebind my Darkheart, but then that's burning a Runebind out of their hand. So guaranteeing this resolving seems pretty reasonable. We have another non-resource to the top of my deck here. Get a common portal and put it into your hand. Sweet, my card made a card that makes a card. Yo, dog. That must be the resource that they snagged off of the Dreamcall earlier. No blocks. Hailstorm's cute, but not very good right now. I'm gonna pass the turn, and I'm gonna choose to fight during my opponent's ready step here. It gives them one more resource, and it doesn't mean I don't get to attack them for 4, but it means if they want to fight to protect this Darkheart, they're gonna have to fight on their turn. One of the really sweet things about Nature's Rain killing Darkheart is that my opponent won't be able to save it with a Runebind, because it also destroys Constants. Yeah, Twitch has been having a lot of lag time issues lately. So I think I'm actually going to hold this Diamond Ice because I don't really want to play this Hailstorm while I have a Darkheart out. Just going to like keep beating them down with this. And then at some point they'll like have to Into the Unknown or Transmog or whatever my Darkheart, and then I'll get to Hailstorm plus Ice to make a Hawk. And call. I Runebind your card. Alright, this doesn't do anything other than make a charge, so we'll go ahead and play that one out. Slow and steady beats here. My opponent accumulates cards that apparently don't impact the board. Yep, that one's going to resolve. Have any more interrupts here? This is 3 shard cards I like. This is 3 shard cards Threads of Life returns to play. I guess pulling the minus cost out of Darkheart means Threads can't bring it back, but that's probably fine. Everyone's got 10 cards in their hand. It's a lot. And almost certainly came off the Dream Call. So let's discard 2 cards here. You know, so this is a small thing, but earlier my opponent had a slow shard that was likely generated by their Dream Call, and if they would have gotten blood off of that as opposed to wild, their next Dream Call would have been able to generate pieces of removal that could kill my Dark Heart. So little things like that that seem like they're insignificant and you're just like clicking whatever actually end up mattering a lot of the time in Hex, which is really sweet. Got some cards, you're cool. Take the stop off there, ready step, right? You can find my schedule at jeffhoagland.com/gaming. Always find it live there. I'm just going to end step this Hustler. I can go end step Hustler, untap, swooping, Gravitas, and then Hailstorm. Just like kind of put in a couple of things that they'll all kind of demand answers. Jeff is always magic. God bless Q. The animated cards are kind of trippy, especially the portal ones. I wonder if they're probably a psychic extension. It's like I wonder if Dark Hearts and Dream Calls are like their only win conditions. Oh, this is okay. Yep. Okay, so I punted here a little bit. Should have played that in response to my opponent's thing. No, that's gross. I don't really want to discard a card, right? No, so you can give them a Dark Heart back. That's really bad for me. Maybe I'm supposed to discard at random there. Yeah, we're done. Alright, let's play something else. This deck's... this deck was about as bad as expected. It's kind of dirtily. So the thresholds actually weren't really the issue with this deck. The issue with this deck was more so that it's just like kind of derpy and doesn't really have any cards that go over the top while also not providing aggressive draws. So it's cute. It plays a bunch of cards I like, but just not powerful enough in the current format.